She was gone for 17 minutes. Doctors had already covered her body. Her heart had stopped. But in those 17 minutes, she says she saw Jesus. And he told her what will happen in 2026. What she heard wasn't fear. It was a promise. And maybe, just maybe, it's the message the world needs right now. Stay until the end, because what Jesus said about the year 2026 will change how you see everything. Her name was Mary Thompson, 72 years old, a retired teacher from Texas. She had lived a quiet life, prayers before bed, the same pew in church every Sunday, a heart that loved everyone but herself. In the spring of 2024, her body began to fail. Pneumonia, doctors said. Her daughter held her hand, whispering, "Don't be afraid, Mom. Jesus is with you." Mary smiled faintly. "He's been quiet lately," she whispered back. Hours later, her breathing slowed. Machines beeped slower and slower until silence. The nurse checked her pulse twice. Nothing. A white sheet was gently pulled over her face. But for Mary, something had just begun. She says the first thing she noticed was peace. Not a silence, but a presence. No pain, no panic, just an endless golden light surrounding her. She wasn't floating. She was standing, barefoot on what looked like air that shimmered like water. When she looked down, she saw her hospital bed below her, her daughter crying, and doctors shaking their heads. Then a voice, familiar, deep, filled with warmth, said her name. Mary. She turned, and there he was, Jesus, shining brighter than the light itself, yet soft on her eyes. His smile carried both truth and tenderness. "Do not be afraid," he said. "You are home, but you cannot stay." Mary says her knees gave way. She couldn't speak. She only wept, realizing she was truly in the presence of the one she had prayed to her whole life. Jesus reached out his hand. "Walk with me," he said. And as she did, the light began to move, forming images, scenes, visions of the earth below. She saw oceans, mountains, crowds of people, and a giant clock floating in the sky, ticking toward a single number, 2026. Jesus looked at her and said, "Mary, what is coming is not the end, but a great awakening. But before the light spreads, the world must learn what darkness really is." Then 3 visions unfolded before her eyes, each one clearer than the last. The first vision, she saw cities shaking, not from war, but from the earth itself. Floods, winds, fires. But in every tragedy, people helping one another, praying, kneeling in the streets. "Nature will shout louder than politics," Jesus said. "The world will stop arguing for a moment and remember me." The second vision. Mary saw children standing on stages, preaching, singing, telling crowds about love and forgiveness. They had no microphones, yet their words echoed through the world. "Out of the mouths of children," Jesus said, "I will remind the proud of what faith looks like." The third vision. She saw darkness sweeping across screens, phones, televisions, computers, all going black at once. In that stillness, people lifted their eyes from their devices for the first time in years. They saw the stars again. They saw each other again. "This," Jesus said, "is the moment when I will whisper again to the hearts that forgot me. Not through thunder, not through fear, through silence." Mary cried, "Lord, is this the end?" And Jesus smiled, "No, child. 2026 is the year of decision. Love or fear, light or dark. Every soul will feel the pull, but those who love will shine." She tried to remember every word, afraid it would fade when she woke up. But before she could ask another question, Jesus placed his hand over her heart. "It's not time yet. Go back and tell them. Heaven is preparing the earth for light." Then, darkness again. A gasp. The sound of monitors beeping wildly. She opened her eyes. Doctors shouted, "We have a pulse!" 17 minutes had passed. When Mary woke, her daughter screamed and ran to her side. Mary could barely speak, but she managed to whisper one word: "Light." Later that night, she wrote everything down on paper. At the top, in trembling letters, she wrote, 2026, the year of choice. When asked why she came back, she said, "Jesus sent me to remind you, the darkness isn't winning. It's revealing the light that never left." Now, every evening, she lights a small candle by a window. She says it's her way of telling heaven, "I'm still listening." So tonight, as you hear her story, ask yourself, what if you were given 17 minutes beyond life? What would you be shown? If this story touched your heart, don't end it here. Subscribe for more real stories of heaven and miracles. Comment below, "Jesus, guide me through 2026. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that light always returns. Because maybe, just maybe, this message reached you not by accident, but because you are part of the light that's about to shine.